It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. It's not your journey to take. Let's learn. Let's learn.
As well.
Okay. And there it is.
Yes.
Can you see me?
Yep.
Oh,
But not on
request to
Instagram.
join.
There you go. I'm waving at
Okay.
you. Now you have to ask me to join. There we go.
Alrighty. I did.
All righty. Hello, Sandra. How you doing? Hey, Dr. Crabb. How are you?
How are you?
I am wonderful. So I want to welcome everybody that's joining us to Not Your Journey to Take. Maybe we and I am so glad to have you with me on this evening. So we are a little late getting started, so I do apologize. We had some technical difficulties, but we are here, and I thank you for joining. So my name is Keisha Mason Campbell. I am the author of Not Your Journey to Take, How to Maintain Your Lifestyle and Persevere After Your Loved One's Incarceration. So again, I want to thank everyone for joining. I want to thank everyone for watching the replay. While we are talking, please don't hesitate to submit your questions or your comments. Any questions or comments we don't answer during the sip and chat, we'll make sure that we answer afterwards so we can continue the dialogue. So if you are watching a replay, please put that in the chat as well so we will know that you have watched the video. And again, if you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate. So again, our special guest tonight is Dr. Warren Crabb. Dr. Crabb is the founder and CEO of Transcontinental Society Unlimited Productions, and he specializes in mental health. Our topic tonight is the ins and out of incarceration. Before we get started, let's let Dr. Crabb tell us more about himself, Transcontinental Society Unlimited Productions, and also share where we can find you on social media.
Awesome. My name is Dr. Warren. Can you hear me okay? You're echoing.
Yes, I can hear you on Instagram, but not on StreamYard.
Okay, you're echoing. Okay, so Transcontinental Society Unlimited Productions LLC. I am the founder and president of this company. Inside of society is all the things that I do, which you will find on our webpage, which is the Doctor Speak. I'm sorry, the Doctor Project. That's the drproject.com. One of my organizations, which is how we wind up together, is ex-cons in the world today. My movement is ex-cons matter. Okay. Excuse me. Turn this volume down. There we go. So, the reason why I started ex-cons living in the movement is because I'm an ex-convict myself. And when I came back into society in 2013, started being working and getting my life together, trying to do things like normal human beings do. I was stopped at a lot of places from participating because of my criminal history. The mindset is that once people are incarcerated, they're no longer good to society. They should be forgotten about. They should be thrown to the side, and they shouldn't be given the opportunities for good credit, to move in good neighborhoods, to buy property, and things like that. Well, truth is, there are so many people out here that do not go back. The recidivism rate doesn't exist for them. They just don't go back, and they become productive members of society. Single mothers, single fathers, they're little league coaches. They're, community leaders. They're doing things in the community. They're making changes. helping people and making the planet a better place. They're not advertising. So that's how I started. As I was living in the world today, I would interview who were ex-convicts and doing things to contribute to society. And I have no limit on the amount of people that I can interview every day. So that's how I started.
That is super awesome. And you're exactly right. People come home and they get their lives together and they don't go back. And you're right. They're not recognized. People don't talk about them. People don't recognize them. People don't give them the pat on the back, but they always want to talk about those returning back to prison.
That's right. And that's a small amount. Now, there's a statistic that says that 1/3 of Americans have worn Gucci bracelets. Translation handcuffs. They've been arrested. 1/3 of the population of this country has been arrested at least once in their lifetime. Wow. So with that statistic, I mean, just being arrested, going through the cavity search, having your privacy taken away from you, all of your rights stricken from you, even if it's just for a moment, until you find out 4 hours or whatever. That is devastating to any human being. Any no human, I should say. Okay. But the truth is this is what happens. And if 1/3 of the population is being arrested, that means that it's affecting 2/3 of the population.
That's right.
And if 2/3 of the population is being affected by one person being incarcerated, that means the entire population is being affected. And they don't want to speak on this. They want to be hush hush. Well, I'm the guy to talk on this.
I love it. I love it. And it's necessary. You know, people don't realize that prisons and jails have become a big business. It is a big business.
Right under pharmaceuticals.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So I definitely...
It's citrus, tourism, beef, you name it. Incarceration is above all those in the high echelon of income brackets.
It does. It makes them plenty of money. And in order to keep the prisons going, you got to do what? Keep people going back. So they have these petty crimes that they go to prison for. Hey, Cindy. Hey, Jada. We got a few people that jumped in with us.
Yes.
So listen. I want to thank you for sharing that information because those statistics are necessary. You're saying 1/3 of the population goes to prison, 2/3 are affected, which means that affects everybody.
But have been arrested.
Have 1/3 have been arrested.
Yeah. So they all 1/3 have went to jail. It's the difference between jail and prison.
Yes.
You know. So you can go to jail and be out tomorrow. You go to prison, it's going to be a minute, a couple of moons.
You got that right. So listen, what we're going to do, we got started a little late. So what we're going to do is jump in and get into our discussion for this evening. So this episode is entitled The Ins and Out of Incarceration. You and I deal with different spectrums of the incarceration. I deal with the loved ones on the outside who have the incarcerated family members, you know, that we're having to deal with the prisons and the jails and them being in there. But you speak on the version of being in prison and now coming home. So we speak on two different spectrums, but we meet right there in the middle as far as who we're supporting, how we're supporting, and what we need to do to support.
Yes.
So the first question I have for you is a 2-part question.
Okay.
The first part of it is, the first time you were incarcerated, how did you feel and how did it affect you?
Okay. Now I'm going to tell my age. The first time I was incarcerated was 1990.
Oh.
Okay. No, this is the first time I went to prison, I should say.
Okay.
Because really during the 80s, I may have went to jail a couple of times. I was very young for stolen cars or whatever, you know. But I went to prison in 1990. And, you know, when you're young, you hear, don't go to prison, boy. Don't do it. Don't do it, right? But when I get there, I had so much fun.
In prison?
Yes. I had a ball. right? I was glad to leave, but it was like, hey, you know. So when I got out, I thought to myself, this is the second part of your question. When I got out, I said, well, that's prison. What am I scared of?
Wow.
So I really, really started stopping and grinding it, you know, in the streets. So I went back in 1992, 2 years later. I went in there with a 7.5 year sentence. I was out, including jail time. Altogether, I did 11 months on those 7.5 years.
Wow.
Yes. So back then, you know, the prisons were overcrowded because of the crack epidemic.
Yeah.
So they had a program they called CRD, which is Control Release Date. Every Tuesday, they would give you game time instead of once a month. They would do it every Tuesday, and there's no telling how much. It might be 10 days, it might be 1 day, it might be 400 days. Every Tuesday, you would get, it was like a lotto. You didn't know what you were going to get. You can get enough to send you home. 400 days is enough to send people home. They got a little over a year. So,
yeah, because
you
it's
know,
only 365 days in a year, so you're right.
right. So they're out of there, you know. So, you know, it was a real lotto thing. Everybody was happy. We were, you know, at the time, you know, it was legal to smoke, and they were smoking more than cigarettes. And it was creativity going on. We used to sing. We used to have singing groups. We would hang out all this time of night, you know, eating hamburgers and singing. And I mean, you know, we had a good time.
Wow.
So, I mean, they were creative. They were artists there. They were making handcrafted things that was so extraordinary. It would just blow your mind. And you know, everybody was wheeling and dealing, and that's what it was about.
Wow.
That's the time I went. Okay. The next time, because I did go again, it was different. But I'll leave that for another part of the story.
Okay. Well, the second part to that question was, how do you think your incarceration impacted your wife at the time and your daughter?
Okay. I got married. I'm telling my age again. May the 20th, 1982. My daughter was born November the 4th that same year. We went back to my hometown. I wanted my daughter to be born where I was born, which is Philadelphia. I didn't want my daughter to be born in Florida.
Okay.
You know, she was born in Philadelphia. We stayed up there a couple of years and we came back. Everything was cool in the 80s, like I said. And then when I went to prison the first time, I stayed 3-4 months, you know, and I came home, you know, everybody happy to see me. And between the time I got out and the time I went back, my lifestyle started changing. My habits became more expensive, and it consumed more of my time.
Wow.
You know? And I wound up with health issues, you know, because I wasn't a drug addict. I was a junkie.
What's the difference?
Okay. Drug addicts, some of them are even functioning. You know, they'll go to work every day, you know, the weekend, they'll get their little bump, you know, and, you know, they go weekend warriors, or they'll, you know, may go to 3 or 4 times a week, but they always keep a nice place, decent car, nice clothes. Okay. There's a real thin line right there when you fall off and you lose everything. All right. And then you're a drug addict.
Whoa.
When you get to that point. All right. Some people call it the bottom. But then there's another level to it where you become part of that world. Everything that you do revolve around that world. Now, me, I lived a dual lifestyle. In the daytime, I was the father. We played softball, you know. I carried my daughter on my shoulders everywhere I went. You know, I was selling herb back then, joints and bags. I had my daughter on my shoulder. You know, it was, you know, to hang out with the Rastafarians. You know, it was cool. At night, it was a different beast.
So what happened in the transition? So in the daytime, you were a father. You doing all
cocaine became involved at night.
Okay.
Once cocaine becomes involved, it's no longer, you know, you have, like I said, you have those that do it and then they get up and go to work Monday. Then you have those that do it and can't stop. I was one of those that couldn't stop. You know, it got to the point where I would be up 4 or 5 days and it wouldn't make sense for me to use it anymore. You know, and I'll be gone from home 2-3 weeks a month, you know, because I had a very expensive habit. It was like $1,000 a day.
And how did that affect your wife at the time and your daughter?
My daughter, to the day, she has the effects of that on her life because I wasn't there for her teenage years.
Okay.
You know, her mother divorced me after we were married 13 years. She couldn't take it anymore. I was crazy. So, you know, who would want to be around a crazy beast? You know, and I was very violent and, you know, very selfish. So, you know, today we best friends. But yeah, he's such a good person.
Yes.
Though, that it wasn't like malicious. She just couldn't take it anymore. She never put me on child support or anything like that. You know, she came and took her mother came and took the car keys from me though. But then I was really homeless. I was homeless a couple of years after that. So, you know.
So we have a question in the chat. So Doc, the question is, what's your relationship with your daughter now? And how has it affected her? Yes.
Okay. Like I said, it still affects her today. Our relationship is nowhere near where I would love it to be. Okay. All right. I've been home now 9 years.
Congratulations.
And it seems like, thank you. And it seemed like, you know, they're always waiting for me to fall off because that was the habit that they knew.
Okay.
You know, give him a year, give him 6 months, give him 3 months, give him a week. He going back.
Okay.
To doing what he do. You know.
But it's been 9 years.
Now it's been 9 years, and I still haven't gone back to doing what I used to do. I don't even know who that guy was because I'm nothing like that.
That is wonderful.
Nothing like that guy today. Trust me. So, but they still have that pain. You know, I don't know what happened to my daughter in her teenage years.
Wow.
But they knew the type of guy that I was, that if something happened and they told me, somebody would disappear.
Okay. So they protected you and themselves.
It's a lot they kept from me, you know, because I didn't play. That would just put it like that. I didn't play. Okay. Yeah. Like I told you, I was ultra violent. Okay. But my daughter told my wife now, she told her something that I was shocked to hear from her. She said, yeah, Daddy used to, you know, he used to get with them cats, but they were always in the wrong.
Wow.
He was always protecting the elderly and the children and stuff like that. And if they get wrong, he get with them.
Wow. So your daughter noticed all of that at that age.
Yeah. Yeah, she knows that's in me, you know, because I have a thing about children and elderly. You're not going to mistreat them and disrespect them in any kind of way around me.
That's right. And that's how it should be.
All my life. Huh?
I said, and that's how that should be. Men are supposed to protect the women and the kids.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And, you know, and back then I was already crazy. So, you know, but that affected my daughter. Today we speak. You know, she's proud of me, you know, but we're not having Thanksgiving dinner together.
Really?
You know, no, we're not that close.
Okay.
You
But
know?
y'all still communicate though. Is it like a regular communication? Just don't spend holidays and things like that together, right?
Well, we, send each other birthday wishes. We actually, I went and seen her. We spent a little while together, Um, but we may go out to dinner together or something like that, like once or twice a year, or once or twice every couple of years. But
Okay.
that's how it's been, you know.
Is she
That's
in Florida with you? Is she in Florida or she is
yeah,
back in Philly?
yeah. She's in Florida. She has a master's degree. She's, supervising with children and families. Um, she's doing her FISM,
That is
So
wonderful.
I'm proud of her, for who she turned out to be. But, and just like she's proud of me today for being the doctor, you know, after
Yeah.
all that I've been through, but
Right. To go through it and come through it on the other side. The real Tanisha
yeah.
said they need more men like you. We need more men like you today.
If you knew what I went through to become the man I am, then you will realize that those crazy guys out there have me in them.
Oh wow. Well, that's a
Yes.
powerful statement.
All of them. All people are born good.
Yes. I believe that. I believe that. And I think
All
circumstances
people
and
are born good.
situations change
Okay.
them.
Exactly. And what they get fed with.
Yes.
See, I was raised around Black revolutionaries, so I was told to protect my people. I was the warrior, and and things like that. So I was always the soldier,
Yes.
coming up. So I've always been very oriented on my. Now I love all people.
Yeah.
Oh, you should have seen me this morning. I was in the classroom with 20 first graders, and then I was in the classroom with 20 second graders. It was, oh my God. Anyway, and they were all colors. No, they weren't. My child was the only Black child there. But, but it was beautiful. Color played no part in that. Children are pure. They're born good.
Right.
You
They're
know,
innocent.
and that's what we had today. It's nothing like that pure goodness.
Yeah, they're
And
innocence,
that's
I
what we
tell you.
all need. So I fed off of them. I'm a vampire. I'm sorry. I fed off of that beauty. Yes,
That
I
is
had a
that
good
is
time.
awesome. We have another question, and this is from
Mhm.
Sandra. She said, "What are you doing to build a closer relationship with your daughter?"
Okay, so first of all, I had to give her room because I was smothering her. Okay, when I came out, because I knew I wasn't going back.
Yes. So
Okay,
when
I
you were
had 50.
smothering her, were you trying to make up for lost time?
Yes, and all that. She had to tell me, "Excuse me, sir, that time is gone," and I had to accept that. She said, "I came to visit you 2 times, and I couldn't come no more. It's a long drive."
Wow. Yeah.
And I had to accept that. She said, "I sent you money 2 times. They were birthday presents." And I had to accept that.
Yeah.
She wasn't being mean.
Right.
She not loving me. She was loving herself. And
Right.
I had to accept that.
And I think people
It was hard for
misunderstand
me because
that.
I'm selfish.
Yeah, and I think people misunderstand that when you are incarcerated and you are having to, as an individual, I'm having to live my life. I love you and would do anything for you, right?
Yeah.
But with that being said, I have
Life
to
goes
take
on.
care of me first. I have to make
That's
sure
right.
that I am putting myself first. And that doesn't mean I love you any less. That doesn't mean I won't do anything for you. It just means
Right.
I'm putting me first. And you just have to understand and respect that. And I think sometimes the incarcerated individual becomes so selfish, sometimes,
Me.
that they're like,
Guilty.
especially when it's first happening, when they first deal with that transition, I think they become so selfish, like, well, wait a minute, what do you mean you can't see me? What do you mean you're not going to send me any money? What do you mean you're not going to do this, this, and that, right? But then they begin to understand, like, wait a minute, that's your money. That's your time. That's your job. That's your
Hold
situation.
on, you actually work for that.
Right. So I have to get in. So your loved one realize they have to get in where they fit in, where you can't expect me to just show up for you all the time. Just be
You know
be
what I've
happy when I
learned,
do.
Keisha?
What's that?
That goes both ways.
Yes.
That goes both ways. Because if I didn't take the time to take care of me
Mm-hmm.
when I got out, I wouldn't be in a position to have open arms whenever she's ready.
Right. But then
You
you know what?
understand?
That leads me to my next question for you. When you released, what were your thoughts walking out of that prison or that jail?
Well, I already knew I was going to be the first African American trillionaire.
All right.
I came out of there a total different person that went in there. Okay. When I came out, I did 8.5 years.
Oh.
8.5 calendar years. I had a 10-year sentence. I was actually facing 2 lives plus 40. If you don't understand what that means, they was telling me that I had to do a life sentence, die, come back, do another life sentence, die, come back and do 85% of 40 years. Then I would get released.
Mm.
So that's the time I was facing. They offered me 25 years. At the time, I was like, what, 42? They was offering me 25, and I'm like, I'll be 60 when I get out.
Wow.
What's the difference between 60 and 25 years in life, right? So I went to trial. Out of all that stuff they were charging me with, I got found guilty of a misdemeanor battery only.
Wow.
But they took the misdemeanor battery, which only carries 1 year maximum, and they made it into a 3rd-degree felony, which carries 5 years maximum. They habitualized me for the misdemeanor and turned it into a felony. So they gave me the max, which is 5 years. Then, because all the charges that I had before that was drug charges, and you cannot habitualize anybody for drug charges, because the Surgeon General determined that drug addiction is a disease, it's not a crime.
Right.
Okay? So, but as soon as they got something, the misdemeanor battery that they convict me of, they habitualized me and doubled the 5 years to 10 years. So I got 10 years for a misdemeanor battery.
Wow.
I was very angry at first. I was thinking very revengeful for about 1.5 years, 2 years, of those 8 years. The first couple of years, I was a very dangerous person to be around. And something happened where I had to learn to forgive other people, and once I forgave them, the burden was lightened off me and I was able to work on me.
That is awesome. And I think people misunderstand forgiveness. And they think that they're releasing the other person, when in actuality, you're not releasing the other person. You're taking care of yourself, because you're
That's
no longer worrying about that situation that you're in. You're taking care of you. And so being incarcerated for 8.5 years, right? Do you feel that when a person is incarcerated for any amount of time, that when they are released, that there should be some kind of mental health that is mandatory for them to receive when they first come home?
I'm a mental health specialist, right?
Yeah.
So I'm going to tell you something that's not publicized. When a person is incarcerated for 5 years or longer, they need immediate mental health treatment when they get out. What happens is, and this is the part that's not recorded, after 5 years of being incarcerated, whoever you really are is coming out.
Oh.
Yes. So if you're undercover, if you're undercover gay, after 5 years, you're going to be wearing, Kool-Aid on your lips and arching your eyebrows.
Oh, okay.
Yes. If you are a hustler, after 5 years, you're going to be the biggest hustler on the compound. That was me. All right. If you are a person in search of knowledge, after 5 years, you're going to reach a plateau where the whole universe is going to open up to you. That was me. After that 5 year period, there is a serious mental adjustment that goes on where you submit to yourself.
Okay.
Okay. And it takes 5 years for a human being solo. And now out in the world, that 5 years is just like 25 or 30 years. Because remember, we work 8 hours a day. We drive 3 hours a day. We eat 2 hours, 7 hours a week.
Right.
We sleep. So out of all that time, you don't have any time with yourself.
Right.
5 years with yourself brings the best wherever you are out of you.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yes. And this is the thing. This is why people like, you know, Mother Teresa and all those, because they spent time with themselves. Gandhi and all of them. They spent time with themselves for years. Then they were able to have the universe at their fingertips.
True.
That's how it works.
Okay.
That's how it works. That's the secret they don't want publicized. I'm telling it.
Yeah, because they act like you have to work hard in order to do anything.
No, that is not the answer.
Yeah, like rest is a problem when rest really isn't a problem, because how can I be rejuvenated and show up if I'm always working?
Look at my eyes. I sleep 4 hours a night. You know, we'll finish here at midnight. I'll be up 3:30, 4 o'clock. Busy. For the rest of the day.
Oh, wow.
For the rest of the day. You know, until like 11, 12 o'clock tomorrow night. This is how I live. I don't sleep. I'll sleep when I die.
So do you believe it's like that because of the 8.5 years you spent incarcerated? Okay.
No, I've been like this for many, many, many moons.
Okay.
Yes. I'll tell you what it is.
Okay.
Okay. This is probably a psychological damage that has been done to me as a child. My mother and father were Muslims.
Oh.
Now, if people don't know what that means that when the sun, by the time the sun come up, prayer is done. Before the sun come up. And we were teenagers. And my father didn't take kindly to us laying around snoring, farting, and slobbering while he's praying.
Oh, so y'all had to get up and pray with him.
Yes. You know, I mean, that was the one time he put his hand and punched me in my head.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. That was the one time in my life my stepfather put his hands on me. You know, he woke us up with a broom. He was hitting my big brother. I was too fast. So I tried to run, and he popped me in my head. You know, but it wasn't even a big blow or anything or damaging, but it let me know he was serious about this subject. So today, because of that, I take prayer very seriously.
That's awesome. We all should. We all should.
Yeah.
I mean, praying to me brings a sort of peace. Not even sort of. It brings a peace to me, and it starts my day. Right? So that when adversity comes in, I can deal with it and not go left or go right. I can just deal with it in a mild-mannered type of state and not have to, you know, be rah about it. So I'm a true believer of that. And somebody in the chat said they did Life in the Feds. They did 17 plus in the Feds. My gosh.
So he or she can attain to what I'm saying about that 5-year rule.
Yes.
They've seen it over and over and over again. They've seen it.
Wow.
Yeah. For people, we call them long timers. Like me, I had 10 years, you know, to the side. But these guys got 20, 40, 50 years, life sentences that I was doing time with. So my little 10 years, you know, I need to just be quiet. You know, respect their space. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because that's their home.
Right. So how was that when you were incarcerated with somebody who has life, and ideally they have nothing to lose, and you know that you want to come home? Oh, Tanisha says she works in a correctional facility, so she knows exactly what you're saying.
Yes.
So
yeah.
If you're coming home 8 to 10 years and you're in prison with lifers, how does that impact you? And how do you keep yourself, I guess, safe? Because when you think about lifers, you think they don't have nothing to lose. They're not going home anyway, and you get to go home. So how does that work out?
That depends on the individual. I'm so glad you asked that.
Okay.
All right. Because that depends on the individual. I have a video where I speak on the mindset of the individual. Okay. And whatever you think you are, that's what you are. So if you think you should be scared, you should be scared. You know, if you think you have nothing to fear, you have nothing to fear. I don't fear anything but God. And the only thing I fear is facing him and he telling me, why didn't I do what you tell me to do? And I've been living like that for decades. Okay. So I don't fear death. I don't fear pain. I'll heal if you hurt me, you know. I don't fear any of that stuff, you know, because hey, it's me and my maker. I know it's a private thing. Nobody's going to hell for me and nobody's going to heaven with me. You know.
That's true. I like how you said that.
You know? So my mindset allowed me to communicate with these people and find out that these are good people. The good has come out of them because they've done more than 5 years, and most of them are good people. So now they're in search of self. They don't have time for the bull crap. So when you come around them with the bull crap, you may be in a little bit of trouble.
Okay.
Okay. But if you come in, I'm a man, 100%. Alpha. So when I come around, there's no problems. You understand? And not that I'm Billy Badass, because there's always somebody more Billy Badass than you.
I've always heard that saying, yes.
Yes, always. All right. So it's not that, you know, I'm so dangerous that everybody's no. It's always somebody more dangerous than you. It's just that I had a mutual respect for people's souls. And they knew it. They knew I wasn't just playing. They knew I really cared about people's souls. You know, because once I started, after them first couple of years, and I forgave those people,
yes,
and and God started talking to me, and I started fasting and singing, it was over. You know, you know, this new guy came out, but the only thing is, once I gave myself over, I was a whole new person. I didn't know what to do.
Oh, wow.
Because I've been living the other way for so long. You understand? Yes. And he told me not to do that stuff no more. And he got me. That's what he told me.
See, and I'm a believer that God talks to us. Yeah. Listen, Life in the Field said that it's mostly the guys with short sentences, under 10 years, that's normally causing the problems.
That's right. Now, it's not like some booming voice came, listen to me. It wasn't no bull crap like that, okay? It was, so God speaks to man 2 ways, through the pen and through man. Okay? So over the course of time, all these spirits through people and through books I read, because I read hundreds and hundreds of books. I became a readaholic. I couldn't even sleep unless I read something. Wow. I wrote like 9 books while I was in there. So,
congratulations.
You know, besides my, you know, my proposal, my $500 million proposal. Well, actually, it's a $2.5 billion proposal.
Okay.
It's $500 million every 5 years for 25 years. So
that is awesome.
He's self-sufficient, but that's the way I think, you know, and that's the way I've always thought. And I'm into my thing. If you want to hear about my thing, come on. You know what I'm saying? And besides that, because I'm a wordsmith, a lot of people are illiterate in there.
Wow.
So, yes. I'm talking about these people were business owners and all, but they can't read and write. So I was the guy who would write the love letters for them and write a poem to go with the love letter. I would write mom and ask for money for Thanksgiving. And, you know, I was that guy.
Okay.
You know, and when other people would charge them, I wouldn't charge them, you know, and stuff like that. So I would do it, you know.
Just
because
out
I
of the
know they
kindness
needed
of your heart.
yeah, they needed help,
Yeah.
you know, and I was able to help. So why shouldn't I help? You know, I was asking God for a lot. I ain't like I knew I had to give, and be a servant.
Yes.
So that's what I did. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I want to ask one more. I would like for
Mm-hmm.
you to share from your experience anything that you feel will be helpful for anyone who has been incarcerated and they're still having a relationship with their loved ones. And I guess you could probably
That's
take from
serious.
your daughter and
That's
talk.
serious. Because, all right, let me share this with you.
Okay.
I went to prison 5 times. 5.
Ooh.
All right. I'm a little slow, but when I get it, I got it. Okay. But the 5th time was the time that changed everything. The 4th time, I was really tired of this shit. By the 3rd time, I wasn't having a good time.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The 2nd time, it was all fun like the 1st time. You know? So by the 5th time, I had then listen. I can't do this thing right, so I'm stop trying because they keep locking me up. They used to pull up and open the back door, and say, "Crabb, get in the back seat. You need a rest."
Wow.
Yeah, yes. On South Miami Beach, I lived there 22 years, and you know, all the police knew me. If they saw me driving the car, they got to pull me over. They know I ain't never had a license in my life.
Wow.
I didn't get a license until, for the first time in my life, 2016. For the record, I was born in 1962.
And you just got a license in
In
2016?
2016, yes, for the first time in my life, yes. You know, I had a
Wow.
lot of firsts since I've been out. You know, I've actually got a bunch of income tax checks for the first time every year continuously. You
And those
know,
are
I
those
got
things that people
license.
take for granted, when you
Yeah,
are incarcerated
yeah.
and then
I
you
got
have
a new
family
car.
members. Right.
For the first time. It is legal. They're fully covered insurance for the first time. It's my tag on the back of the car, not somebody else's sticker.
Right.
You know, for the first time. You know, if my battery go bad, I can go to the store and buy it. I don't have to go in somebody's hood and get a battery anymore. You know,
Yeah.
for the first time. Uh, it's a lot of firsts. You know, before I got out, you know, to answer your question, I thought about the people who were out there. They were releasing me
Mm-hmm.
with $50, a brown T-shirt with a pocket on it, some double knit pants, and some flip flops. And they said, "Make it. You'll be back anyway." Because that's what I do, right? I go back, right? But they didn't know it was a different dude that got out. So
Right.
that dude wouldn't come back. You know, the other guy would have came back, yeah. But this guy here, he ain't coming back. So the people, my mother, my daughter, my daughter's mother, my cousins, my family, and everybody in my family is doing pretty well. You know, retired principals from high school, retired from the IRS. You know, everybody's doing pretty good. You know, my daughter has her master's. Now, mind you, I had a 9th grade education. Matter of fact, I did 9th grade twice because I beat the teacher up.
Oh.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
wow.
beat me up. So I never made the 10th grade. Okay, and everybody in my family is educated and aristocratic and stuff. You know, and I was the street runner because I grew up on stage. You know, as an entertainer, singing, playing music, dancing. You know, things like that. So I lived this, the wild life. So I
Oh.
was the black sheep of the family. You know, I knew I could not depend on any of those people.
Mm.
Had a little bit of attitude because I knew I was going to make it, So my attitude was act the same way you acted the last 8.5 years when I get out.
Right.
Act just like that. Okay, because it's pretty soon, it ain't going to be long. I know I'm going to have 7 and 8 figures in my bank account while you trying to pay bills.
Right.
Act the same way you act them 8.5 years, you know. But God worked on me on that. But I'm telling you, you know, I had these. I'm selfish. Okay, I'm a selfish guy. All right. So, but God be working on me. Just shut up. You know, and changing me consistently. You know, because I stay praising Him. But anyway, so yeah, the family members, the people that were involved in my life. You know, when I got out, I had to accept the fact that I am alone on the planet. Everybody else got their own toilet paper to wipe their own butt.
Yeah.
Can I put it any more simpler than that?
Nope, that's it.
I got to get my own toilet paper to wipe my own butt.
Right.
You know, and I can't keep using their toilet paper because they ain't gonna be able to wipe their butt.
Right. You got to get your own.
I got to get my own, and I have to do it legally, so I can stay out and keep buying toilet paper to wipe my butt.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know?
I think
So
that
it wasn't easy.
I think that it goes unnoticed a lot, which is where I come in and where I help the family members of the individuals who are incarcerated, right? Because being on the outside and loving your loved one and wanting to help them as best you can, sometimes it can get misconstrued, meaning that people assume that, oh, if you have a loved one that's incarcerated, like they kind of mix you up with it as if you have done something or you're going to do something, or like your affiliation means that, oh, we were in cahoots together, right? That's one perception that people have. Then another one is, oh, you giving them everything. You giving up everything just to take care of the incarcerated loved one. You know, the public's opinion can be so negative and be so hurtful. But where I come in, I teach you how to love your loved one with boundaries, right?
Mm-hmm.
Learning how to say no and knowing that that's a complete sentence, right? So I'm still helping you, I'm still giving you, but I'm doing it with boundaries, right? I'm doing it in so much of a way where I am still taking care of me and I am taking care of you, but understand you are not first. I can't put you first. I can't put you first. And I teach family members how not to do that, because it's hard. Once your loved one goes to prison, it's hard not to put them first. And I've been there, done that, because I did it for years, putting them first. But then I had to learn, like, you can't do that. I still got to work. I still have to live my life. I still have to take care of me and take care of everything that's on the outside.
That's a fact.
Right. So what I give to you and how I take care of you, I do it, but I do it with boundaries. I do it with love, with all my love, but I have to do it with boundaries. I have to do it with limitations so that I don't lose me. Go ahead.
You said 2 major words.
Okay.
I remember watching a movie called Clean and Sober with the guy who played Batman. I can't think of his name right now.
Look, which Batman?
Well, he was one of the older ones, okay? But he's the old actor, and he played this movie called Clean and Sober with Joe Clark, the guy who played Joe Clark.
Morgan Freeman.
Smoke crack, don't you, boy?
Yeah, that's Morgan Freeman. I can tell you who that is.
Yeah, he played with Morgan Freeman. Morgan Freeman was in it. And I almost got his name. But anyway, Morgan Freeman was the counselor of this drug program. He was running from the police because this girl OD'd in his bed.
Ooh.
Right?
Michael Keaton.
Michael Keaton, yeah.
Thank you, YPR.
Hey, he told him the addict's least favorite word was no. That hit me so hard. Because I'm always honest. I'm never going to lie to me.
Right.
Okay? I don't care if I'm dumpster diving or if I'm riding in the back of a limousine. I am not going to lie to me. And I knew I hated the word no. How dare you say no to me? Don't you know who I am? And that was a big hurdle for me to get over, to accept no.
Wow.
For some people, it's just as easy. Oh, no, okay, I'll find another way. Right? But for some people, that's like punching them in the nose. You know what happens when you get hit in the nose? It don't hurt your nose. It hurt everything else. You go blind and all. You get hit in the nose. You can't breathe. You know, the nose don't even hurt.
Right. It's everything else.
That's what it feels like when we're told the word no and we can't accept it. The second word you said, boundaries. Now, when I was out there in the game, why I lasted in the game, I hung out with a crew of 13 of us. Everybody's dead but me.
Oh, wow.
My whole crew is dead. Okay? Including my brother. My whole crew, all 12 others are dead. I'm the only one still walking the earth.
Wow.
We respected each other's boundaries. I don't care if me and you broke right now. I'm talking about me and a guy. You know, we both homeless. We broke. You know, later on, I'm selling dope, and you come up to me with $100 bill, and I know you was broke 2 hours earlier. You ain't working nobody's job. Where you get this $100 from?
Right.
And then I see you get in the car with the fat bald head man in the Lincoln Continental, and I know you tricking.
Ooh.
Sir. Right?
Yeah.
I'm not going to look down on him next time I see him. I'm going to respect him because that's his hustle.
Okay.
That's his hustle. My hustle was different. I was a con man. I was a salesman. You know, everybody had their hustle. Pimps, players, second story men, gamblers, strong arm robbers. Everybody had their hustle. And you respected that. You respected those boundaries. So why shouldn't you respect the boundaries of the people you love?
That's right. Because they're going to still be here.
If you're true to the game,
be here.
you're going to respect them people.
Yeah.
You're going to respect those boundaries. You might not like it, but you're going to respect it. You understand what I'm saying? And with honor, you're not going to respect it with an attitude.
Right.
You're going to respect it with honor. You know, and respect. Those boundaries are there. Every human being, you know, we have a 3 foot space that belongs to us.
Right.
Every human being. Physically and metaphysically. You have a 3 foot space around you. They call that your personal space.
Yes.
When people come in your personal space, they're doing what? Invading your boundaries.
Yep.
Now, it doesn't have to be physical. It can be financial, psychological. It could be spiritual.
Yep.
It could be, okay? Your boundaries are your boundaries, and as human beings, it's just like with the children. You know why children love me? Because I know they're people. They're not pets.
Yeah.
You know, they're not nobody's slaves. Nobody owns them. They're small people. Yeah. And they deserve the respect of a human being. And I respect them, you know, and I respect their boundaries.
Yeah, and kids love that because they like knowing that somebody sees them as a person and not as an accessory or, you know, any other.
No, they're not a pet. They're not an accessory. They're not a slave. They're not any of that.
Right. They are human.
You know, they're human beings, but they're just little and they don't know a lot.
Yeah. But they're like sponges because they take in everything.
Yes. So Monday, my oldest son, he's 7. He'll be taking some tests because they want to skip his grade. So that next year, he's in 2nd grade now, and they'll put him in 3rd grade. So next year, he'll go straight to 4th. You know, he's like a little Doogie Howser.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Yeah. Well, congratulations on that one. We love the smart kids. But I love all kids, no matter where you are and where you're landing. I always feel like I can meet you where you are. And plus, I think I'm super auntie. I have 13 of them. I think I'm super auntie, right?
Oh, you have a ball. And also, for those who don't know this, Okay? Spoiler alert, when you're around children, you are protected by their angels. I'm going to say it again. When you're around children, you are protected by their angels. They always are protected by angels. And if you are loving and caring and around them, those angels will protect you too.
My mother always said, God look out for fools and babies.
That's right. You know how the babies be sitting in the crib and they be and playing. They be playing with the angels.
Yeah.
Yeah, they be playing with the angels. So as they get older, they drift away. See, but I happen to remember when I was teething. So I can remember that far back.
Wow.
When I was chewing on the plastic pretzel that was frozen because my gums were hurting, I remember that. I remember the taste, the smell, everything.
And they don't even have I don't think they have the plastic pretzels anymore that you put in
I think they say they were toxic. Yeah. I'm still telling my age, but go ahead.
It's okay. It's okay. Listen, we have been unpacking a lot. And I believe anyone who is listening to this live or watching the replay, you're going to take away some takeaways from this. And if there's anything that you want to talk about with those takeaways, please post in the comments and we will continue to respond to your messages even after the live.
Yes.
And if you have any questions for Dr. Crabb, please don't hesitate to put it out there. You can put it when we're going to post this on both of our platforms, and I'll make sure you have his information as well, because Dr. Crabb has a lot of information to share. His program that he has that we talked about earlier, which is the Transcontinental Society Unlimited LLC, and he focuses on mental health, right? So he can help you in a lot of those areas, especially being released from prison. And that's for those persons that are in prison that are being released or have been released from prison. And then also for those family members who have loved ones that are in prison. If you want to understand more about what your loved one has gone through or what they went through, Dr. Crabb would be the person for you. If you're trying to figure out how to handle things because your loved one is incarcerated and it's becoming overwhelming for you, then I would be the person that you would talk to. So we are parallel and separate but equal all at the same time. So
now together, that is an awesome combination.
It is.
For a healthy family.
Yes.
That is so awesome.
Because most people don't realize what happens when their loved one is incarcerated and their loved one don't share. They won't share. So you don't know how
the ones that's incarcerated don't know what's going on in those people's lives outside when they call once a week.
Right. And then
it's a whole week to pass.
They're not thinking about it. They're just like, answer my call. And you're like, well, wait a minute. I got stuff to do. I can't sit by the phone and wait for you. And it becomes a dangerous thing when you start being able to call the cell phones from the prisons.
Today is Thursday, right?
No, Wednesday.
Okay, today is Wednesday. So much has happened already this week that I don't even know what day it is. Now imagine over the years of me living like this and someone is incarcerated that I love. There's no way that they can keep up with me because they're stuck.
Right.
So the best thing they can do is get with themselves and their creator, whatever they want to call them. They can call it Jesus, Allah, Yahweh, Yahshua. I don't care what you call them. You
just call
to a high priest. Just call him, and he gonna come.
Yeah.
But that's the best thing that you can do. That's why I'm Dr. Crabb because I have a doctorate in ministries. Okay, since I've been out, it really doesn't matter what you call the creator, what language you speak. I bet you if you call him, he's going to hear you.
Yeah.
You can speak Chinese, Russian, Japanese, patois, Creole. I don't care what language you speak, he's going to hear you.
I agree. I agree.
So you need to take that time and get with yourself and your creator, and lead those people to be free to be in a better position to help you when you get out. And if you ain't getting out, then, be thankful for whatever they can do.
Yeah.
Whenever they can do it. Don't pressure people.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what a person is going through in their day-to-day life.
Yeah, and that happens a lot for the incarcerated individual. They think because you're free that it's easy.
Everything's available to you.
Right, and it's not,
But
because
you
we all have to
King.
work for that. We all have to work hard for everything we get. So while you think everything is awesome, you're thinking that, oh, you're free, so you can give me whatever I need. You can come see me whenever I want you to see me. No, because I still got to work for that. I still got to make a living, and I got to take care of me. And that doesn't mean I don't love you any less, because I don't.
Today, I go back into the prisons. I actually started off going into the prison that I was released from.
Wow.
Okay. And now where I am, it takes me a full tank of gas and a half to go there and get back. Now, that's $100. Now, like I said, I'm not jumping in no Lincoln Continentals with no fat white bald head man.
Right.
If I have $100, that means I've worked a minimum of 5 hours for that. All right. That's valuable to me.
Right.
Because I have children that I really, really love to spoil and things like, I have bills and, you can tell I like to stay kind of spiffy myself. And,
yes,
I have to take care of me and my loves,
right,
which is my family. Then the things on the outside, if I have something to spare,
mm-hmm.
See, but they don't think like that when you're in there.
No, they think if I need it, you should be taking care of me. If I need it, you should provide.
Find a way.
Yep. And that's where I come in, helping a family member understand and know that you're not required to do those things. You do what you can, when you can, and how you can within your guidelines and your boundaries. Don't lose yourself in it, and don't lose yourself in your loved one situation. You can't. Because if you do, you can't move on. You can't live life giving everything away.
And you can't live like depending on people as an adult.
That part.
As an adult, mom sent me $20. Like, I was in there 8.5 years. She may have sent me $20 5 or 6 times, when she could.
Right.
Now, mind you, that lasts about 3 to 4 days because I likes to eat. So I give me a bag of coffee, some sugar, a couple of Zuzus and Wham Whams, and I'm broke. Until the next 4 or 5 months when I get something. So in the meantime, I have to be an adult. And don't let me have habits, like smoking cigarettes or stuff like that. I have to be an adult and supply my own habits.
Right. That's right.
And my habit is coffee. I have some right here, right now. I love my coffee, and and whatever my habit is, I had to be an adult to take care of it and feed myself. Make sure that I take care of me. As an adult, I don't care where you are on the planet, what your situation is. But some people, I ain't talking about no little 16, 17 I'm talking about 40, 50, 60-year-old boys and girls, because they're not, they've been dependent on people so long, and the people have been doing this so long. Now, on defense of some of my fellow convicts that's inside, there are some of them that know this.
But they still chose to utilize it to their advantage because they can.
No. There are some of them that know this and look down on people in there that's taking advantage of their family members.
Okay.
Like that. It's just a line for the phone sometimes. What you mean you can't come see me, B? I'm saying B, but that ain't what they said.
Right.
What you mean you can't see me? You better get here.
Wow.
Then the next week, why you ain't come? Then the next week, what you? She ain't take my call.
And when you're talking like that, she shouldn't.
Then the next week, you call, hey, don't call here no more. She busy. You know, and it's your fault. You cussing this woman out.
Yeah.
When she been sticking by you. She can take but so much.
Yeah.
You know? And we get on, some of us get on them cats, man. Why you ran that girl away from you like that when she was good to you like that, man? You done messed up. Now don't ask me for nail honey bun. And so there's some people in there that really are aware of the abuse that's going on with the other way, from inside, abusing the people who's out. That love them, taking advantage of them. Now, what I think, you and I both should go in there and we should deliver our message on both sides.
I like that. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that is a great idea. Because I
go in there to inspire them, to let them know that it's a lie, that they've been told that when they get out, nobody's going to hire you. You can't be nothing. Nobody's going to trust you. You'll never get a good woman. You'll never get a good man if you're a woman. Whatever the lies they tell you.
Right.
Because I'm living all my dreams.
That is awesome.
All my dreams.
And they do. I think they tell you that lie to manipulate you and make you stay in that state of mind and hope you come back.
It's a business. You know, they actually train you to come back.
Yeah.
Yes. Now in there, you'll wash dishes, you'll cut grass for free. But out here, you won't go to Denny's and get in the dish room. Where I'm at right now, it's at Denny's. They close at 5 o'clock. Have you ever heard of such?
No.
This one here closes at 5 o'clock because they can't get people to work.
Wow.
They cannot get people to work.
Since
I've been out, I got out September 21st, 2013. This year I retired.
Congratulations.
And I decided that I am going to work for myself.
Yes, entrepreneurship is where it's at. Yeah. If that's something you desire.
And I wanted something more than a hobby, a hookup, or a hustle. I wanted to know how to run business.
Yeah.
You know, and that's with other people's money. So now I'm getting myself in a position, because you ain't supposed to run no business on cash. That's stupid.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting in a position, you know, God willing, that I can, you know, achieve some more of my goals.
That is awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. So we got about 7 minutes left. So before we go, I again want to thank everybody for joining us, whether you're watching it live or watching the replay. My name again is Keisha Mason Campbell. I'm the author of Not Your Journey to Take: How to Maintain Your Lifestyle and Persevere After Your Loved One's Incarceration. So what I would like for you to do, Dr. Crabb, let's please share all of your social media handles so everybody will know, and your website. And then again, just kind of repeat what you said earlier about what it is that you do so people can connect after this call.
Okay. So first of all, we have that in common. I'm also an author. Finding Norma Jean. This is my book. I wrote this while I was in prison.
Wow.
Okay. I didn't have a light in my room. And this fella was in the room next to me. His name was Joseph Michael Mortensen. His grandfather and Marilyn Monroe were brother and sisters. And he wanted me to write his life story. So I did.
Congratulations. That's awesome.
I would write from sun up to sundown, then I would interview him at night. And I wrote this book in 40 days and 40 nights, 97,000 words. Finding Norma Jean, get her everywhere, all social media outlets.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's the only book in history that tells about the Mortensen side of her family. But the thing is, they think it's about Marilyn Monroe, but it's not. It's about him.
Oh.
And he's straight gutter. He's straight gutter. Okay. He's her nephew, but, you know, out of Brooklyn, you know, and he has, his life is a story. So anyway, so on Facebook, you can find me, Warren Crabb. On YouTube, a doctor. spell out the word doctor, Crabb. My website is the drproject.com. You can email me at drcrabb@tcsup.com. That's the acronyms for Transcontinental Society Unlimited Productions, LLC. So it's tcsup.com. You can also watch me live every Tuesday night on the Dr. Speaks Variety Show. You may also see me on Thursday mornings on Power Connections with Dr. Kevin Vaughn every week. Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, YouTube, International Twitter, Instagram, I'm Dr._Crabb. I don't know.
LinkedIn.
Listen. What was it? LinkedIn. Warren Crabb. No, Dr. Crabb. LinkedIn. Yes. Spell out the word doctor. I think it's Dr._Crabb. But I'm the only one that looks like this. I'm hard to miss. So you'll probably see me, post it up. But, yeah. So let me tell you that I am a mental health and spiritual counselor. I'm also a licensed minister and a published author. I have ex-cons living in the world today, as well as the movement Ex-Cons Matter. I actually go into the prisons. I'm associated with various organizations that help people when they get out. I am dedicated to the mental health of people returning citizens. That's what the political correct term is, returning citizens. Okay. I'm sorry, but when I went to fill out an application to move into a condominium, they called me an ex-convict. Oh. Yeah. Yes, you're an ex-convict. You can't live here. They didn't call me a returning citizen or former felon or any of that cute stuff. They said I was an ex-convict. And from that day to this, ex-cons matters. So, I think that's it. LinkedIn. I'm on all things. I'm either Google me. Okay. WARRENCRABB. Okay, Warren Crabb. First thing you're going to see is my arrest record. You're going to see that I got a lot of drug charges. I told you I had used drugs to, I shot and smoked, so I poisoned my system. My lung collapsed. I had a heart attack at the same time, and they wanted to amputate my arm. I was 132 pounds, soaking wet. I can't get under 210 now. I don't care what I do. But I was 132 pounds. I was 26 in the waist.
Wow.
Yes, but I was cut like a meat.
My gosh.
Yes. So, I've come a long way, and I know from experience, the reason why my mental health therapy is so uncommon is because I don't know. It's not too much I haven't seen or done. Okay. So you can't come to me with the bull crap. You're going to have to come real. And when you come to me real, we're going to get whatever the problem is out on the table. And we're not going to worry about the symptoms. We're going to deal with the issue. That's what I do for mental health and for spiritual counseling. So that's me. I'm the doctor. And I'm everywhere on social media. Only place I'm not at is on national TV.
Okay.
Coming.
But listen, Dr. Crabb, I appreciate you. I thank you. I am so glad that you took the time out to spend some time with me. I apologize about the beginning because we had some technical difficulties, but we are here. We showed up. Yeah. We showed out. And I thank you for everything that you were sharing with me. And I look forward to it, if it's okay with you, for us to do another live. I think coming from both of our perspectives enlightens others because they get to see on different ends of the spectrum. So I look forward to us doing that again, and we'll put it out there for everybody to join.
I'm going to put this out here because you're so modest. I'm going to put this out here. Last week, that lady right there, she was on the Dr. Speaks Variety Show. This entire month is dedicated to the heroes and the sheroes of our community. The unsung heroes and sheroes of our community. And this is a shero right here. And we honored her last week on the Dr. Speaks Variety Show. I know you, look at you all shy. Yes, that's right. I said it.
Thank you for that. It was such an honor to receive that. And to be a recipient of that. And I'm grateful, you know, that you even noticed and that you guys even paid attention to what it is that we do, and that our work is parallel but different because of how we the groups that we cater to. So I thank you for that. Thank you very much.
Listen, if I can give you a big statue of you, I would, but I can't lift that. So, you know.
It's okay. It's okay. So as we wrap up, I want to tell everyone, I hope that you are having a super fantastic evening, and that the rest of your week is a super fantastic week, and that we are having a great week on purpose. Everything we need to do, it has to be on purpose. We're happy on purpose. We're making moves on purpose. We're being in our purpose and making things happen. So my favorite word is super fantastic. So I hope everybody is having a super fantastic evening and a super fantastic week and on purpose. And I hope you all take care. And I look forward to seeing all of you really soon.
I had a super fantastic time.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'll be talking
and
to
I can't wait to get back together with you.
Absolutely. That's going to be great. And thank you, everybody, for joining. And thank you for everybody who's watching the replay. I'll talk to you soon, Dr. Crabb.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.